You are listening to the Any Anime Podcast.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a bit of a different episode. The boys have no clue what this episode is about. Gave them a little bit of a surprise. I wanted this to be fresh, very raw, kind of reactions coming out. So, yeah.
It's going to be so raw, we're not even going to introduce the show.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Setting up things. Okay.
I guess we're running on the
sad days. Okay.
Well, we're running on the assumption that if you click this episode, you know what you're listening to.
Kevin, what are we listening to?
You know, Tan, I wish I knew.
Fuck. Is this?
You don't know?
I think so. The host of the show is supposed to introduce the show, right?
What's up, guys? It's Joey, Connor, and Garnt.
Oh my god! Hey! We don't speak those names in this household. We revere them too much.
Damn,
they're
okay.
Anime
there
gods.
are two photos that wouldn't load, which is kind of sad. But we're gonna make do. Okay.
Is this a tier maker or something?
No, I had fun making this. All right, I'm gonna try to stream it, and you'll have to use your imagination for two of these slides.
Wonder what the name of this podcast is. I'm throwing layups. I'm trying my best.
Stream is up.
What's up, guys? You are listening to the AAP. That does not stand for Alabama, Arkansas, Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
That's right. It's the Any Anime Podcast with your real host.
I wanted to pull this up and have you guys viewing this when I did the intro, because I wanted you to kind of see it. A little ooh and ah, and then go from the top, literally reading from the top.
We can ooh and ah. I'm already mad. Okay.
Yeah,
anyways,
it's a B plus. It's B and up.
There's no way you put that in B plus, right, Tanner?
There's
no
way.
It's B and up. It's B and up. It's not
this
B plus tier.
To be in the B plus tier. Okay?
No, you guys don't understand.
No, it's because we understand.
We read it as B plus.
Why did you read it as B plus?
Because it's B plus.
We don't have a B plus tier.
This is revisiting.
We don't have a B plus tier. What are you talking about?
We haven't even started. They're already mad.
Plus tier.
They're already mad.
Ladies and gentlemen, this episode we're going to be actually going back in time to our first tier that we ever did. This is winter 2021. And we're going to be basically looking at all the anime that we put on our tier list. That was B tier and up. We're going to be basically talking about how it's affected us to this day.
Oh boy!
Do we still think about it? Do we relate it to other anime, like even today? Do we deserve that it do we still believe that it deserves the tier that it's at? And are you surprised by the mouse score that it was actually given? Because I don't think we ever looked at that
The final
stuff.
scores, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this will be fun. I had a good time putting it all together. I'm a little sad that two of the little images on the slideshow didn't load in, but this will be cute. So yeah, first off, I want a little show of hands, Angel or Tanner. I think
No.
Angel watched it.
No, I don't
No, I
think you
did
did.
not watch this.
You did not watch it. Hold on, I'm gonna actually, because I love this picture. This is a good picture.
That is a
Now,
good picture.
Cade, what are we looking at?
This is fuck.
You put the title right
what?
there.
No. What are their names though?
Reki and Snow.
Reki.
Or Longa. Longa is his real name.
Okay, Longa and Snow.
No, but they're asking about what the title is to our audience members.
This is Sk8 the Infinity.
There we go. Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts, Kevin?
Sk8 the Infinity is an anime I would regard very highly. I think it's up there in terms of sports anime.
Rash.
It's it's an anime that I have rewatched at least once.
You've rewatched it.
I've rewatched because Claudia saw some clips on TikTok or whatever the fuck it was at the time, and she became interested. I'm like, you know what? And this is during the time that she only watched dub. I was like, you know what? I'm down to actually rewatch this, and I'll watch the dub. And this is an example of a dub that was done super fucking well. In some instances, better than the actual subtitled version. Very clear that the cast members had a lot of fun dubbing it over. And as a whole, the animation is really good. The story's really good. Solid in my books, 9 out of 10.
Solid 9 out of 10.
Solid 9 out of 10 for Kevo.
Do you agree with the fact that we put this in S tier?
Oh yeah. I think
you think this is something that everyone should watch?
I think it's something that everyone can enjoy. Yeah, I think it has a little something for everyone. If you enjoy bromances, especially, this is it.
Little headcanon BL.
Not even headcanon. It's on the screen. Those bros love each other.
We don't want to mislead the BL lovers out there.
Look,
right?
I'm not saying they're bumping uglies.
That's
you know
what I mean? Some BL lovers, that's what they're looking for,
It is true they are, but no, I think it's a great show. It's a great show.
Great show. I really enjoyed this one. Looking back, I think I'd move this from an S to an A. I love this one, right? One of the better sports anime out there.
For sure.
However, this would definitely not be the first one that I go to when someone's like, hey, I'm looking to get into anime. I'm like, hey, what do you like? Oh, I like, sports, that kind of thing. That I think the first one I would automatically go to would be a Haikyuu. I think that's just like an automated response. And I think it would take a little bit of a like deep thought for this one to like come back up into my memory. Because honestly, looking back at this tier list when I was doing it, I'd forgotten about a bunch of the stuff, and that's kind of why I wanted to kind of wanted to do this, because I wanted to see how prevalent the top, anime were. Are we still, are we still thinking about it? Have we kind of forgotten about it? That kind of thing. So yeah, Mal has given it a 8.02. Do you agree with that?
Solid. Mal's a hard grader. So
Yeah,
anything,
I felt that was a little harsh, not gonna lie.
but it's harsh about everything. So anything above an 8 for me is a consensus. Like this is a good anime.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a 9 anime.
Well, those are rare. Those are. I mean, the
I
highest rating for like it was Full Metal Alchemist, and then it became Freyrin. I don't know if it's still Freyrin. But the highest rating was like a 9.2 or something. So
9.18, I think.
9.18, yeah. So like the scale is
Oh, never mind.
a little
Okay.
skewed. So and it's really an 8 out of 9.2 rather than like an 8 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a really good score.
No, I mean don't get me wrong. It is like a super
13
good score.
animes, 9.
But all of the top tier anime that I usually see are usually around 8.3 to 8.4. And so I was a little surprised to see it teetering on the edge of 7, But no, I mean either way, 8 is an 8, am I right? But yeah, after checking up on this one, because I was, kind of looking into stuff and basically just wanted to, catch up on everything. A season 2 has been confirmed.
That's true.
And is in production. No word on release or anything like that. However, it looks like from everything that I could tell, the director wants to look more into the villain's I think Shadow was his name. His boss.
Shadow?
Huh?
Maybe Adam? I think it Adam.
Adam.
The Shadow was
Adam.
like the Shadow was the other guy, the clown looking guy.
Clown looking guy.
He looks like an Insane Clown Posse fan.
I don't remember him.
He's the one in episode 1 that tries to use the tricks to cheat, like firecrackers and all that.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Shadow.
Oh, interesting. Because what I read was going into Shadow's boss's.
Shadow has a boss.
Yeah, that. So I don't know. Maybe I misread it, but it definitely said Shadow and something about like a villain arc.
Oh,
I don't think Shadow is the one who's the villain, but I feel like yeah. Anyways, but it's very up in the air anyways, just because this one did not have any source material. There was no manga before. There was no webtoon, nothing. They actually started writing the manga after
after the anime aired.
No, like right before the anime aired.
Oh, interesting.
But like by the time it had basically been finished, the making of the anime. So there's no source material to go to and see, what's going to be happening next. It really is going to be a big surprise, and I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, no confirmation as to when that's going to be coming out. But it is coming, and I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
No, this is for me. I think yeah, just to clarify, I personally would still keep it in S tier.
You would still keep it in rest tier? Okay.
I adore the show.
It is a good one. I love this one. All right, moving on to our next one. So I'm a Spider, So What?
A show that I did not watch.
You didn't watch it.
That's
See,
right.
again, this is the weird thing because back in winter 2021, it was kind of weird. We weren't any anime podcast, right? So
Mhm.
our way of doing things was different. We kind of watched the stuff that we wanted to watch.
Yeah.
Um, so I was the one who watched this one. And I don't remember. I think we put this one at A tier. No,
Did we?
no. B tier, I think. I don't know. It definitely wasn't S tier. Um, I guess since I'm the only one who watched it, it'll be kind of on me. Excuse me. So I'm a spider. So what? I think it is a great testament to um, what CGI's potential is in anime. They did almost everything in this anime as CGI. Very similar to Duke of Death. But this is all action, isekai, that kind of thing. Um, the issue that I had with this one, looking back on it, the story was definitely engaging. It was the story of this girl who had been turned into a spider and was trying to basically survive in this world, and so she's trying to get stronger and everything, which was really fun to watch play out, right? Especially since her personality is so vibrant. Uh, but the other part of the story, where it's her classmates that also got isekai'd, how they're all together in a group, um, and trying to save the world, I think that was lost. That was lost on me. It just didn't make too much sense what they were trying to do, and honestly, just a lot more. It was just a lot more entertaining than watching her do her things. Right. There was one part of it that I do remember enjoying, and that was when we found out that her school bully had also been turned into an animal. That was kind of like a nice little, oh, okay, that'll be interesting to see where this kind of goes. Um, but yeah, it was definitely good. I definitely don't think about this one. This is kind of faded from my mind's eye, if you would. Um, it's not forget. What am I trying to say? It's not like you'll forget what's happening in this anime, right? Like I still remember a lot of this anime. Um, I mean, just based on what I've already said, right? And I have not gone back and rewatched anything or read synopsis or anything. Um, it's just that it's not the best anime. It's certainly not, um, you know, uh, the best story ever, right? I mean, I'm already ranting and raving over um the story as it is. But I do want to solidify its place as an A tier. I don't remember if we put it in A tier, but if we did, I do agree with that. If we put it in B tier, I feel like we should put it into A tier. Because when I think of um, a CGI anime, one that's very, very, very heavily, uh, CGI based, this is one of the ones that comes up first. I think my go-to, the one I use in like all sorts of situations when talking with CGI, I think the one I go to is Duke of Death. But this is like the one after.
Mm.
Um, Mal gave it a 7.45. I think that's very generous. I'm not gonna lie.
Generous?
Yeah. This would probably be like a solid 7.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like
Honestly,
seven's almost approaching C tier though.
yeah, no. Like honestly, I feel like my grading of it is strictly based off of the animation,
Uh,
right? Because technically the animation style is not a genre. I want to award it because it's like one of the first, they were attempting to do something with CGI that uh none before it had. This is before Duke of Death. So um I was just very impressed by what they were able to accomplish with it, considering so many anime have just made CGI look like absolute dog shit, Um, but yeah, the 7.45, I think I'm happy with that. I was expecting a lot lower. Uh, and then for season 2, no news, nothing confirmed yet or anything like that. It's just very up in the air. Not surprising for this one, in my opinion. But seeing as it's a 7.45, I feel like they probably should have picked it up by now. I see a lot of shit that, and we'll actually visit on a couple later that have gotten season 2s that do not deserve it. So yeah, this one was a little weird to see that it didn't have a season 2 on its way. Also, sorry. After seeing the mouse score, I was a little surprised, but yeah. So I'm a spider. So what? I think deserves whatever place we gave it. If it's a B tier, then that is what it is. If it's an A tier, sure.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, yeah, we did a good job grading this one.
Well, you did a good job grading this one. I don't think anyone else watched it.
Did Junior watch?
I don't
this
think
one?
he did. I don't believe he did.
Was it strictly me then?
I believe it was strictly you.
I'd be interested to hear what I said on this one, because honestly, I don't remember. All right. Now this one, I watched
this one.
I watched like 3 episodes of this one. No, I watched half of this
You
one.
only
actually.
watched
I want to
half?
watch this.
Crazy.
No, I
Kevin,
think I
did you,
actually only
love this
watched.
show or something.
I only watched up until the point the brown haired girl came in.
Yeah, that's like halfway through.
The anime that we're talking about right now, the one that you guys can't see because obviously I have it up on a slideshow and you guys can't see that. Wonder Egg Priority. Beautiful anime. I love the visuals looking back on it.
Why did you not watch all of it?
Because I wasn't invested in the story, and I'm still not like a huge fan of the. It's a magical girl anime. I'm just not that interested.
I would hardly classify it as such, honestly.
No.
Okay, look, I know what you're saying, Cade, but it's like a shonen magical girl.
I would classify it more as
agree
like
with that. I can agree with that. It
it's
was
a
definitely more action
psychological
packed and everything like that.
It's a psychological
A
like,
lot of ever since Puello no Madoka Magica. Ever since then, a lot of magical girl anime has also been psychological horror. This is another one of them. This is definitely one that's
so
done
long ago, though.
Say again?
I said Madoka's old, though.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, when we were still doing that thing where we we decided what we wanted to watch. This just wasn't on the radar. I feel like if I went back and watched this one, I'd have a better understanding of what it was about, and have a better idea of where to place it, right? But based on what I watched, I was like, yeah, it's a B tier, you know, which I'm sure you guys would disagree with.
I would give it a low A, personally.
Low A?
Yeah, it's teetering, but it would probably just pass the A threshold for me.
Okay. I
Visuals are
think
great. The story is good. I feel like the ending was rushed a little bit.
Well, it was supposed to set up, I think, like an OVA to finish to kind of cap it off.
Oh. And did they do that? They did. Season 2 was one OVA, and whew, the fans were not happy about this one. Let me tell you that.
Apparently.
Oh, everything that I read was just shitting on it.
I wonder why. I would have to watch it to find out, but
Exactly, yeah. But Mal gave the Wonder Egg a priority a 7.61. Do you feel that's fair?
I feel like it
Yeah.
deserves a little higher. I mean, like
think it
maybe
deserves a little
not
higher?
like 8.0, but I feel like it could be like a 7.9 or something.
7.9.
I would agree.
I feel like 7.6 is a little bit on the low side for the show.
A little harsh.
But It's
a little harsh.
it's not like oh god, how could they possibly rate it that? It's just like I feel like it deserves a little better.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really testify as to whether this is a decent placement for it because I didn't watch it. So,
Mhm.
and then yeah, for the OVA, a 5.13. Rough. That's rough.
That's bad. That's straight bad.
That's bad. Yeah.
Talk about tripping at the finish line.
Yeah. And that was also part of the issue when looking back at the stuff that I hadn't watched, it was hard to tell whether or not there would be a season 2 because I didn't know where the anime ended up. I didn't know if episode 12 was a wrap on the entire anime or if they were leading into a season 2, and so I had to do a lot of research for things like this one, which is how I found out about the OVA.
I see.
And so there will be a couple later that I think I found out, what was going on, but also it is a little convoluted. But
As someone who
yeah.
watched it, I feel like they finished the anime at episode 12, but it was like
Wonder Egg?
weird.
Well, I don't know if you remember these plot points, and I guess we're getting to Wonder Egg spoilers for anyone who cares. But the anime ends with the tomboyish one's like companion getting absolutely yeeted by the AI girl, and then that's when I believe her name is Aoi, the blue haired.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. She Aoi, she like basically swears to like kind of take care of the problem, and I think that's where like the last episode ends.
But to me, like they defeated the AI girl and everything. It
I
felt
don't think
like
they
well
did,
enough.
though. I don't think they did.
I feel like they did. I don't know. When I watched it, it felt like they ended it, but it felt also like oddly confusing at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think, from what I could tell when I was reading about it, the OVA was supposed to wrap up everything with a nice little bow. Maybe because things had been kind of left as convoluted at the end. I'm not sure. But whatever they tried to do did not work.
Mm-hmm.
So I am interested. Maybe Tanner can go back and watch the OVA, see what's all the hate's about.
But I mean,
I'm
I would still recommend the show.
Oh,
you
yeah.
still recommend
is
this one?
I would.
Oh, yeah.
How often do you think about this one?
Personally, I mean, it helps that I have like the fan art book that I bought at Expo displayed on my shelf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Great
So yeah, it was fantastic pixel art. So that helps, you know what I mean? But like
And
when
this
it
anime is very visually stunning. I actually think about this one pretty decently, and it's strictly because of its art style. And you know, I never thought highly of this one, but the fact that it's still kind of stuck around is a testament to, you know, it's brilliant visuals. You know,
it is gorgeous.
I'd say like I wouldn't necessarily. If people say, "Oh, what should I watch?" I don't think I would bring up Wonder Egg, but also if I see Wonder Egg, I do go, "Oh, that was a good show."
Yeah, it's one of those. If anyone asks me about it, I'm gonna be. I'll definitely watch. I would go so far as to say definitely watch.
Yeah.
But looky here. Like my memory as a whole is not the greatest. So if you would ask me, like, hey, what should I be watching? You know, like
which is fair, because that makes the ones you and that's kind of what I wanted to do with this. The ones that you remember after all this time are worth watching. You know, even if it's bad, if you still remember it, it's fun to you know, share that experience, that memorable experience with someone else. You know.
Mhm.
Hey, I'm looking for a really shitty anime to watch. Oh, let me tell you, I've got a stinker for you. You know. But yeah, Wonder Egg Priority. Any last thoughts on this one?
Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out. Check it out.
Horimiya.
It's great.
We got some diehard fans in here.
Oh,
We got some diehard fans.
Your
for
boy
sure.
never watched
All
it.
right.
Your boy never watched it.
Now, when I say
Kate, I wouldn't recommend
I own the full series of manga, like all volumes, including volume 17. Volume 17, you may say, but it only went to volume 16. Well, I went to Japan, and apparently in Japan, volume 17 exists. And it's like after story plus some extra bits.
Oh,
So, you know, yeah, I'd say I like it.
I'd say I'm a fan.
I would rate it my number one romance anime.
That's
Number
a-
one romance. Wow.
I would definitely put it top 5 though. I would agree with the,
I'll put
the
it
top 5
top
ranking.
5.
Yeah.
Tanner, what would be your number 2? Just out of curiosity.
2? I don't know. I
You'd
read
have to make
Horimiya,
a
but
list.
this
yeah.
is it. This is peak.
It doesn't get better than this. May I suggest Wotakoi? Maybe.
Motokoi is top 5.
Okay.
I also own all the manga for Motokoi.
Quintessential.
Quince.
Quince
don't
is
know.
fun, but I don't know if it breaks top 5. Top 10 maybe, but top 5 is
What about Nisekoi?
special.
Kind of
Nisekoi, I would
and prodding
not
your
put
mental
top
state.
5. But do I own all 25 volumes of Nisekoi? Yes.
Did
Would I
Blue
put
Hair
it?
Girl get shafted? Yes.
Would I put it number or up top 5? Probably not, honestly. Did I enjoy it at the time I watched it? Was I invested enough to find out what the fuck happened by buying the manga? Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it still a harem romance? Yes.
Hey man, harem romances can be good.
And Kevin, I bought all the manga. I'm not saying it's bad. But I'm saying like
it is
it's
very
not,
hard
it's,
for a harem anime to be a top tier romance anime, I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like
Speak for
the
yourselves.
the dedication and drama that one, you know, uh, one protagonist has towards another, right? All the drama around that single relationship, I feel like, is stronger than having a bunch of uh, pulling and tugging between multiple relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely agree with Tanner on that one. Uh, Again, I can't say much on this one because I never watched it. Just wasn't in my, my field of expertise. Wasn't really interested in it.
Yeah.
My idea of it would probably change vastly if we did it today, because obviously I'd have to watch it.
Yeah.
But Mal gave it an 8.20. How you guys feeling about that?
8.20.
For a
It's
romance,
a little low for me.
the thing is I feel like romances usually get graded a little harder because a lot
That's
of
true.
people's personal feelings get involved with it, like more so than like an action or something like that, you know.
Mm.
Plus,
Um,
you can't fall back on like astounding of visuals, generally speaking, because most romance anime are fairly simple in the actions that people are doing. I mean, you can still
there's bits and
animate.
pieces that are
Yeah.
animated well, but
Yeah.
it's not like, wow, look at this whole 3-minute long fight scene. That's insane, right?
Yeah, right.
I think that's valid. I mean, of course, on my Mal list, I put it at a 10, but that's just my personal opinion, right?
Claudia would agree with you. I can promise you that. It would be at like a 9.5 for me. Yeah. It's up there. It's definitely super up there.
Definitely super up there.
Yeah.
um,
Were you aware of the season 2?
Yes.
Okay.
It aired a couple seasons back.
Yeah.
It was so weird watching it because having read the manga and then watching back, you're like, God, this jumps around so much.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a cash grab.
What I could tell from this one is that the author and the studio were kind of pressured into making it. It's called The Missing Pieces because it took 12 episodes of season 1 to condense, you said 17 books into one. 16 books into 12 episodes, right? And
Yeah.
so there was a lot of stuff that fans were really upset about, that because it didn't make it into the 12 episodes. And the Missing Pieces was kind of a fan service thing, giving them what they wanted in, I think it was just 3 episodes. It was just these little side stories that fans wanted to see, right?
It was practically a full season, was it not?
I thought it was, yeah.
Oh,
I
well,
didn't watch
I
it.
could only see, I think I could only see 3 episodes on Mal.
Horimiya piece, or the Missing Pieces. I guess it's not a separate thing, huh? Missing Pieces is 13 episodes. Yeah, 13 episodes.
So it is 13 episodes. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I was looking at then. But yeah, just a bunch of different stories from what I could tell, from all 16 novels.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just again giving the fans what they wanted.
And like, for reference, season 1 is technically the full story. It starts at the beginning and it ends at the end.
And I was so surprised by that. When Tanner told me that he had bought all the books, and he said, I didn't remember. I think he said like 170 chapters worth of stuff. Am I right with that number?
I don't know.
I could have sworn he said something about that.
I can go grab volume 16 right now if you want me to find out.
No, it's fine. But when he mentioned how much content there was, and I saw that there were only 12 episodes, I was like, oh yeah, let me see what season 2 is about. because I for sure either knew that there was going to be a season 2 or it had already come out and it was just continued. So yeah, it was a little surprising to see that it was over and done, and season 2 was just a little homage. But yeah, obviously you guys think about this one a lot.
Yeah,
it surprisingly had hints of like, not in any way pertaining to the story or anything like that, but Monogatari, because I feel like the optimal way to watch it would be full chronological order.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you'd have to do a lot of jumping around to watch it that way.
Mm.
I mean, more than Monogatari.
Would you be surprised?
Will have you be like, watch the first half of episode 3 of season 7.
Yeah.
And then go back to season 1.
Would you be surprised? Would you be surprised if I told you that the Mal score the Mal score for season 2 was higher than the Mal score for season 1?
Because it's only the fans of Horimiya that are going to be rating season 2.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. Okay.
Like everyone who watched Horimiya and went, "Oh, that was good," they're probably not gonna watch season 2,
Right.
And if they do, they'll be like, "Oh, it's just like a short story version of the show," But that's fine. I don't think it necessarily deserves to be more in the essence of like if you view them standalone. But they're both good.
Horimiya.
S tier.
Anyone? So S tier.
S tier. Yeah, easy. That's an easy S tier for me.
I believe we put this one in A because of me, maybe even Junior.
Possibly.
Angel.
So I do remember this one not making it into S tier.
That is my name, indeed.
What's your rating of Horimiya?
Solid S tier.
Let's go.
There you have it, boys. A change of our feelings from 2021 to 2023.
Still the same, but
Hey,
is it fair to call it a change of feelings when the other two weren't here and one of us didn't watch it?
I remember you guys telling me to watch it and me going, "Oh yeah, I'll watch it," and then I put it off for like a year and a half, and then I picked it up and went, "Oh my god, this is the best fucking show I've ever seen."
Dang, Tanner, maybe if you were, a part of the podcast more often, you'd find some hidden gems like this.
True.
At the time, I had other obligations.
Tanner, what's a bigger obligation than the boys, huh?
Oh, he's got a point.
You're right, Angel. How could I be so blind?
Now you know.
Any last thoughts?
No.
All right.
No, good show.
Other Side Picnic.
I have no fucking clue what this show is. Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
This one, I believe I remember Kevin giving it a
B. I'm more than positive I gave it a B.
I did not watch this one, so Kevin, this one's on you.
Yeah, so the funny thing, I think the grading we got from this is the mid-season review. I don't believe we watched it for the end of season for that season. Other Side Picnic, it's an interesting thriller. It's like a thriller anime, supernatural thriller. I think it's got some interesting concepts. Maybe if I remember correctly, a little Yuri sprinkled in.
I do remember seeing that in the mal description.
Yeah. Overall, from what I watched, which I believe was like 5 or so episodes, I thought highly enough to give it a B. I thought it was worth checking out.
You didn't finish this one. Would you
No.
ever consider going back to it and finishing it?
I have actually thought recently about going back to it, but I mean, I got so many other things I'd rather watch.
So you do think about this one?
I mean, in passing, sure, yeah.
Kevin sees it on his unfinished.
Yeah, exactly.
In my anime list.
That's something I forgot about. Yeah, that's actually super fair. If you have Crunchyroll, that stuff lingers. Your previously watched will show up like right there in the front page. I don't have Crunchyroll, so honestly, keeping track of everything that I've watched is really rough sometimes. But yeah, I guess if Crunchyroll ever wants to sponsor us, we'll throw you all the love and praise that we can give you. But yeah, Mal had it at a 6.63. Do you agree with that?
Well, having not finished it, I don't think I can say anything to the contrary.
That's pretty low.
Yeah, it's fairly low.
That's like a D tier.
You could argue that to C tier.
6.63.
Yeah, I'd say that's a C tier.
You
maybe
could
a low C. Maybe
I have seen some anime that were rated 7. That should be an F, and some anime that were rated 6 that should be a C. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think it fluctuates a lot on
okay. I'll take your word for it.
But yeah, it just from what I remember thinking it was very interesting, and it didn't do anything wrong, didn't do anything poorly. So, hey, if you're morbidly curious, you get a not a thumbs up, not a thumbs down. You get thumbs in the middle.
No news on the season 2,
which makes sense.
From what I could tell, the fans are not really hopeful. They've kind of accepted at this point that there's not going to be a season 2.
Yeah.
Which is always sad to hear from a fan base. It's always good to keep your hopes alive, but yeah.
Hey, I still hope they animate the last season of The World God Only Knows. Macaca City Actors season 2 remake, maybe. I'm praying.
I'm right there with you with No Game No Life.
Wow, you got a movie at least.
God, what a stinker of a movie though. Any last thoughts?
Nope, that's it.
All right.
Oh, Mushoku.
I couldn't
I have
resist.
not watched this.
I couldn't resist.
I'm gonna take a bathroom break for this one.
Mushoku Tensei. One of the best anime I would say that I've ever watched.
I would agree, but not based on season 1.
Agreed.
Yeah. Season 2 really does push the envelope for me.
It's all about that ED arc.
It really is though. I highly considered putting Eevee as the picture for this one. But I thought this would be funnier. But yeah, season 1. This was season 1, part 1, actually.
Right.
And we put this one at a B tier.
That makes sense.
Because we didn't know how, especially because of how it ended. That part 1, we didn't know how good it was going to be. Because it started off really, really strong and ended at a kind of a bad place, man.
If memory serves, part of the reason why it got rated so low is because the depravity of Rudius in those early episodes is very, very strong, and I remember very distinctly you and Junior agreeing the fact that that it was a bit much, and it affected your ratings of the show.
It did.
And I'm over here like desensitized completely. Like, sure, yeah.
I love Orimo. This is nothing.
I don't love Ori emo. Calm down. I like it.
Man with all the Orimo figurines.
Yeah, me and my 0 figurines that I own. But yeah, no, at that point, again, I'm trying to think. Part 1, where does part 1 end?
Part 1 ends before they
Before they get kidnapped?
it was after they met the
Rugier.
Bird.
Oh, okay. So the teleportation already happened. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
teleportation had already happened. They'd met him, but they had not started on their adventure with him yet.
So yeah, basically we rated it right before it started getting really good.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty fair statement to make.
No, I wouldn't say that's wrong. I think it was already a little bit into their adventure.
Maybe a little bit. I think they'd gotten to the point where shit. They definitely hadn't been kidnapped. Or Rudy definitely hadn't been kidnapped by by Ghislaine's people.
Right, but did they form the party World's End already? Was that?
Yes. You know what? I'm pretty sure part 1 ended. Do you guys remember that like one episode where what's it called? The other party, the one with like
Yes.
the kids or whatever, get
Party
wiped out by the huge snake.
Oh yeah.
And then like Eris kills it and Rugier gets mad at
Rudy. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's when it ends. So it's like pretty decent into their adventure.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I think the MAL score for this one includes all 24 episodes, so including part 2. In which case the MAL score does make sense. MAL score gave it 8.37.
Yeah,
I think that's perfectly fine.
For season 1 specifically, yeah.
Yeah.
I would give season 2 like an 8.7, maybe an 8.9.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And right there, season 2, it's already out. It's been amazing. I should say it was amazing. It's already finished, wrapped up.
Well, the first part of season 2, right?
Is it a first part?
It's a split core, I'm pretty sure.
Is it? Okay.
Angel, verify.
What do I need to verify?
Season 2 Mushoku is a split core.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
So amazing and ongoing is
which makes it even better.
Tanner, you got time to catch up?
I do want to watch it eventually. It's on the list.
I love this one. This is so good.
It's up there.
Yeah, so definitely S tier for me. This one. Well, okay, I should say season 1. I think
I would move to A.
At least.
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely pushing S. Yes, it is a little rough at part 1, but as a whole, season 1 I think was amazing.
Yeah. And then I just looked it up to make sure, confirm. Part 2 of season 2 starts in spring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm excited. All right. Moving on to bottom tier character Tomazaki-kun. This one, I only watched 1 episode, I think.
No way, really?
I think so.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think I
Which
only
is
watched
surprising because I specifically remember being like, yeah, I love this one. It's the wholesome feel good anime.
Yeah, I have a
feel like
feeling
we
you
coined the
watched
term
more
based
than
off of it.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. You watched all of this, Kevin?
Oh yes.
Thoughts?
It's getting a season 2, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's actually next season.
Oh, tight.
Yeah. So this coming season will be season 2.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I watched the whole thing. If memory serves, it's either A or S tier. We definitely rated it very high.
It was A tier.
A tier. Okay. So I think a
The
lot of
genre
that,
being wholesome.
a lot of that had to do with, I think, me and Junior in particular really related to this idea of like trying, like being kind of nerdy and trying to like trying to better yourself, you know what I mean, in some ways become a normie. But yeah, it had a I'd say a pretty solid impression on me when we watched it.
I had no reason to not watch this besides the fact that we hadn't established that we need to watch, at least 3 episodes and more if we like it. I remember after 1 episode, I was like, oh yeah, I fucking love this one. I just never went back to it. Plain and simple.
Yeah, so I would say a revisionist history. I think A might have been a little high at the time. I think the objectively speaking, but subjectively speaking, I would still keep it at an A. It's an anime that I remember fondly and one
That's what
that I would
matters,
recommend. Yeah.
Really, it really does come down to how it's affected you, over time. That's what the good shit is, the stuff that stays with you, This one I still remember bits and pieces from episode 1. I do I at some point I feel like I should come back and watch this one. I just, with everything that I have to watch and everything,
Yeah, it's hard.
It's a little hard to go back to stuff.
Hey, I just watched Full Metal Alchemist for the first time in my life.
You did. That's a lot harder to do than watching 12 episodes of this. So,
and now I'm watching Horse Girls.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Mao gave this a 7.12. How you feeling about that one?
Unsurprised. I think we did mention back in the day that like there is a lot of moments that you kind of cringe at. There's very many social awkwardness with the main character, and he takes the stance of someone like if you guys have ever watched like Snafu, or what's the full name of that show? I forget what it's called. My Teen Romantic Comedy. Yeah,
My Teen
Oh, I have watched Snafu.
Romantic Comedy. Snafu.
Finished it.
So he has kind of like he's a bit less of an asshole than the main character in that of Snafu, but he still has moments where he feels like he has to like stand up, and it comes off a little bit cringy. And I think me and Junior almost took that as a positive because we were like,
oh yeah,
we took it as like, oh, not every moment, not every interaction in which you are like standing up for someone is going to be like this like hero moment. You know what I mean? It's going to be a little awkward, especially for this guy who has social anxiety and has like been kind of a shut-in.
Can relate to,
Yeah.
So you could see yourself in that position and being like, yeah, that's actually fucking realistic. It's cringe, but I'm cringing because I know if I did this, I would be cringing too.
Yeah. So it was not surprising to me that it gets that low of a score because it has multiple moments that were like that.
I disagree with this mouse score. I feel like based on what I watched, I feel like it deserved higher. Maybe unbeknownst to me, maybe it gets, absolutely dunked on later in the season, but again, I can't say much since I didn't watch it, so.
Yeah. I will say it doesn't help that like towards the end the like main romance chemistry started like becoming a little weird. So there's that. But again, would I recommend this show to someone if they were looking for a nice little wholesome slice of life-ish? Not even slice of life. Yeah, it's one of those like drama, high school drama thingies that I think you could potentially relate to.
Now, this is probably a product of the fact that I didn't watch the entire season, but I'd completely forgotten about this one.
That's understandable. Unsurprised.
Do you still think about this one every once in a while? I mean, how prevalent is it to you?
I wouldn't say it's the most prevalent. But again, like for me, that's not even really a metric. For me, the metric is more if someone brings it up, do I remember what it is? Because I have plenty of anime where I have to go, what was that one again? We're just talking about an anime. I don't even remember the full title, but it had the word labyrinth in it. I'm like, what the fuck is that? That anime, it had to be reminded, like, oh, that was just the fucking worst. Completely expelled from my memory. I think if it's completely expelled from my memory, it's more of a metric than if I like think about it on a day-to-day basis.
That's kind of what I'm kind of getting at, Did you have a moment of revelation being like, oh, I remember this one when you saw it come up, or had you forgotten about it completely? That's kind of what I.
Okay. Definitely see. I don't even have to see the title that you have on the slide.
Really? I just based on the pictures,
Just looked on the characters.
This is a real shit picture, by the way.
Yeah, it's a very, very bad JPEG.
I couldn't find a better one that wasn't just like the title, like the cover of the anime, But anyways, this is season 2. Season 2's coming out this next season. Do you think you'll be watching it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Add it to the list.
Would you recommend it to the boys here?
Man. Yeah, I would, but I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't high on it. You know what I mean? It's one of those
personal preferences.
Personal preferences for sure.
Well, there you go, boys. You're looking for something. I do remember this one being super wholesome.
Mm-hmm.
We literally called it the feel-good anime.
Yeah. Improve your life.
Kimono Jihen.
A show I don't think I've watched in its entirety.
I have watched in its entirety. I completely forgot about this one until I looked at our tier list, which is not good. We put this one in an A tier, I think.
Did we?
Yeah, because Junior and I really liked it. But I feel like forgetting about it is such a testament to our to the story itself, to the anime itself, right? If you can forget about it, even though you've said like really good things about it, you need to dial it back a little bit, because obviously it's missing some spice. So in my case, I would put it at a B, just based off of that. I do remember enjoying it. I don't remember everything from it. I remember the ice guys arc. I remember him having to kind of confront himself with his powers and his brother. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't remember really what the deal with the spider guy was. Definitely not the guy on the very left with the headphones. I don't remember him at all.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah. No news on a season 2. Has not been confirmed yet. I don't know. Just looking back on it, I feel like I gave it a lot higher of a score than I should have. Because I'm not impressed by this one anymore. I think it had potential. And you know what it was? It was the plot. I think all the characters are interesting. I think all of the I think the setting's cool, with all of them being yokai. But it's just missing something.
Mm-hmm. For me, I think the reason why I personally dropped it is I felt like it tried to strike a balance between being like a mystery, it's like a supernatural mystery and an action anime, and I don't think it did either particularly well.
That's good.
So
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
So I just I remember not being down to watch more.
Maybe we did put it in a B tier. I don't remember. Mal gave it a 7.38. I feel like that's fair.
Sure. Yeah. It's got action in it. It wasn't bad to look at. So it makes sense.
I'm a little sad that it doesn't have a season 2 coming up. I think I'd be interested in watching more just based off of the main character's storyline. Kind of seeing where that whole thing went. I don't remember what that storyline was. I just remember being interested in it. So yeah, I mean, if season 2 came out, I think I would watch it. I don't think I'd have any expectations going into it though. Yeah. Obviously not prevalent since I couldn't remember this one. Now these. I remember Kevin watched Wave and Hidden Dungeon, right?
Yes.
Did either of those change for you?
No. Hidden Dungeon is trash.
Hidden Dungeon's trash.
It's one of the most uncomfortable anime I've ever watched.
Do you still think about it?
No. I've expunged it from my memory.
Okay. What about Wave?
I think Wave might have been a little too early for its time. I thought the CG was actually pretty good, and the plot was just okay. It was just okay. But I think if it came out nowadays, it might have a little bit more of might make a little bit more of a splash. You know what I'm saying?
I hate that.
But I think maybe, I don't know, maybe people weren't willing to give CG anime as much of a try back then. Plus, it wasn't like outstanding by any means. But solid. I did not watch Beastars.
I did not either.
Do not have.
There
Netflix.
are some diehard fans out there.
Oh, totally.
Heard mostly positive things about it.
Yeah.
I included this one just on the possibility that you had watched it and thought highly of it. But I don't think we even added it to the tier list.
Yeah.
I was looking through Mal and I saw it and I was like, yeah, I'll throw this one in.
Because Netflix anime, especially back then, did not really make the anime trends.
Yeah.
Like you'll probably also get like Odd Taxi at some point.
Odd Taxi was actually, I believe, this season, winter 2021. I was thinking about adding it too.
Yeah, that one people also rate highly.
All right, everything stays the same. Do you agree with this? With Wave and Hidden Dungeon both being in D tier, I believe.
Yeah, I would. I mean, Wave, I think I would put in C, but Hidden Dungeon, I might almost retroactively put it into F.
Really? That bad, huh?
It's just, it's not good.
I didn't watch it, so
the dude basically has a headache, and the only way to cure his headaches is through kissing. So yeah, there you go. That's the plot.
oof.
Nice.
Oh yeah, he finds like a 1,000-year-old MILF, and she's like, "Hey, kiss me," and he's like, "Hell yeah."
He's like, bet.
Bet, will do, no problem.
the concept of pregnancy is not has not been established in this universe yet. Obviously,
Kissing
it's
makes
a
you
little
pregnant.
harder to get pregnant in this universe, right?
Clearly.
All right. But that's it for this season. Winter 2021. Did you like this kind of format?
Oh, I enjoy it.
Because we can go back to other seasons too.
Yeah.
I do have some stuff lined up as well. If we are interested in doing that. But I'm gonna keep that kind of hidden. Just because, again, I want it to be fresh reactions. I don't want you guys, looking up stuff from that time period and being like, "Oh, I remember this one."
You can't stop me, Cade. But I won't.
Thank you.
Kevin's gonna memorize every single anime.
But yeah, a
Mm-hmm.
little warp back in time.
Yeah, I think it's actually interesting to revisit. What are you gonna do for when we get to the dark period?
I think that's actually going to be the most interesting part of all.
I didn't watch
Because-
anime really during that period.
Exactly. So we're going to actually have to go through the old Annie Trends list and see what we should have watched and be like, "Oh shit, that actually looks kind of good. Maybe I should watch this." We're not going to do a full I mean, I guess we could,
Yeah.
but but we'll save that for another time.
Your boy's got enough on his plate.
Exactly. But yeah, I think it'd be fun to keep this rolling for other seasons as well. If you, our audience, disagreed with anything that we said, in 2021 or in 2023, tell us what you think. If Wonder Egg Priority is a gem that should have been rated higher, let us know. I still look at that one and I still think, man, this is so pretty. I really should go back and watch it just because, it might be good. But I don't know if I'm willing to do that. So, but you can go and contact us, message us on Twitter at X at any anime pod, or you can email us at anyanimepodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. If there's something that we missed from any season that you feel that we should cover, just let us know. We can do something like this where we kind of look it over, see if it's worth, talking about. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a slideshow like this for all of our audience's recommended list. I think that would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
But we got to have an audience talking to us first. So, yeah.
Excellent job.
Any final thoughts?
Check out the Space Dandy final dance scene. It'll blow your mind.
It's been very prevalent in our Discord right now.
Mostly because I see the video. I'm like, man, that's a good time. You know what? I should watch that again. Matter of fact, I might do it again right now.
Oh.
Space Dance.
Before you do that, can you give us a good old any anime podcast or any away rather?
I'll try
Really
my best to keep it.
Really give
No,
it the energy that Space Dandy does.
I can't because my Discord will cut me off. It's too powerful. I'll do my best. I gotta like lean back actually.
Give it the arms, like arm waves and everything. I want to see the entire progression
can't-
of
yeah.
the yell.
Fair enough. There, I kept it in.
weak.
I kept it in. No, it's because I leaned really far back so that Discord could hear the whole thing. Otherwise, it will cut me out.
Of your own recording?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, that is it from us. Thank you for listening.
Woo. We did it.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.